Okay, I want to just gather your attention real quick to kind of show you, I guess, nudge you along toward completion, right? So now is a really good time to start to consider some of those finer details about your model, right? And we're talking about workflow, rapid prototyping, and trying to be efficient, but also at the same time be creatively designing. So when you think about this particular model, I'll talk to you in a second about what's happening on the right. But this platform right here, right? So I made some modifications after I designed the thing. It was too deep. The areas that were being created were just, kind of like just dark and deep and heavy, and it didn't look right. So what I did was I took my whole profile and I just smashed the thing down to a 3-foot depth. So nothing that happens here is any deeper than 3 feet, except for some of these elements that are kind of sticking up higher than the base plane itself. So it creates more of like a simplified kind of like cityscape, right? It's not some basement that doesn't have a building on top of it. That's what it kind of wound up being. So anyway, to combat that, I now need to figure out how am I going to resolve some of these situations that I got myself into with my design. Well, this particular one is really easy, and the point I'm trying to make here is simply that our product here is to produce renderings, right? So I don't have to grab this thing and then hit the move command and very carefully try to select this corner and pull it all the way down to that point, which is arguably more accurate, right? But it takes time. What I want to show you is that really all you need to do in this particular rendering is grab that thing and yank it down. It doesn't matter if it sticks down below, right? We're not rendering anything that's happening underground, right? So rapid prototyping, just we've got to get the thing done. We've got to produce renders, so it can be a little bit, messy and sloppy. It's a sketch model. That's really all there is to it. So that'll happen in a number of different locations. Something like this. This is just going to get, this one we actually have to do the extrude command, but that's just going to get extruded down. Doesn't matter if you just pull it down to something else. It just needs to be made solid. That's basically it. Although that needs to now get back on the default layer. Okay, so just do it quick and dirty, get it done. That's really our objective for it. Okay, so let's talk quickly about what's happening over here. Okay, so please don't critique me too much on the design. I only have a couple minutes between these videos and stuff to teach you, and I did not get a chance to go back and revisit it over the weekend. However, what I'm alluding to here for your benefit, so that you understand that the architecture doesn't actually have to be a designed building, right? It's just the kind of idea of enclosure. And you also have your grasshopper definitions to help you get there. So this one, I just took the planar mullion definition. I had to add these divide by 12s because my model here is in feet instead of in inches. So just be aware of that. You might have to do that as well. But all I really am trying to hint at here is that wherever I have those retail locations, I'm just kind of semi-enclosing them. That's really it. And you can, do with it what you will, but I sort of have this sort of, folded plane that's happening at the city edge. It gives it sort of a degree of definition, but not too much that it's still kind of open air and things can flow back and forth. I could very easily swap the panel out to be something like a screen or something like that if I wanted, and in fact we're going to look at that as a rendering technique maybe later today, but potentially on Thursday. But then I also have my interior spaces that are somewhat dynamic but not overwhelmingly detailed, and then the semi-interior or open gathering spaces are all here as well. Okay, so and I didn't exhaustively do that across my whole site, but that'll happen. The intent is that that's also going to happen in this area over here a little bit, and in this area over here. I just haven't quite gotten to that level yet. Okay? So, I didn't get a chance to look at your models yet, but I have a feeling that, a number of us are trying to overwhelmingly detail and get too accurate with some of these things. I know that we try to train you in the direction of hyper accuracy, which usually is incredibly important. In this kind of case, not so much. It's a sketch model. Slap it together, get the idea. The only things that matter that need to be cleaned are the things that you're going to see. So what questions do you have? Any questions at all? None?
Is that definition available for us?
This one?
The mullion?
Yep. Yeah, this one you have already. You should anyway. We've used it before. It's the one that creates mullions and glazing, and you just bake them out and they become modeled elements, then you render them. Do you recall that one? I can help you find it if not. But yeah, that's available to you. I think I only created 2 in this class. It's just planar subdivision paneling and a handrail definition. So you guys can create handrails for a little bit of extra detail throughout your site as well. It gives it just a degree of reality. What's that?
Like the shop and the coffee, so it doesn't necessarily have to be indoors, like fully surrounded. It could be just a roof over it.
No, yeah, like this is one of those spaces right here. Like it has kind of a roof mass volume, and it has some idea of enclosure. It doesn't even like these panels. If I wanted to, I could just put some frames in and get rid of the panels themselves. Well, let me delete that for some reason. Oh, I know why. Because my grasshopper definition is running. Whoops. Yeah, so, I mean, you could delete that and just do frames or something like that if you wanted. It's up to you. You know, your architectural condition could also look quite different. You might have your semi, you know, recessed underground condition actually kind of, you know, reach out and start to create space where you only need like a face for it or something. Yeah, I can come and help you out with figuring out where it's supposed to go or should go, if you like. Okay, so why are we doing this, right? Just to kind of, you know, close the gap on that, right? I didn't want you guys to get hung up on too much detail on interior spaces. They're a little overwhelming at times, and we have a tendency to try to make them too detailed and realistic. Okay, so this is a semi-interior sort of environment. We'll talk about deliverables here in a little bit.